Does there even exist a new version of that man in the plate? I'm Matti Mali, aka Hedonistic Actor, a member of video/blog site Manic Expression. In the previous video we looked at their subpar film products, but to be fair, those were meant to be mere side attractions. No, the true killer app of the site was meant to be its podcast plays that are written and partly performed by the site members, and I have in fact participated in a couple of them. There has been 15 released so far, and the 16th is currently in production, so I thought it would be best if I talk about them in a more sizable chunks of 4. As the first play from 2012 we have Vows, written by James Daniel Walsh, the site leader who has also written short stories under his novel collection Manic Expression. Fancy that. And who occasionally video blogs about his extensive DVD collection. It was originally released as a double feature with High Class Academy, written by Patricia Miranda of Old School Lane fame, but I will talk about that soon. Let's first get into what is most likely the heaviest of the bunch. It's the year 2008 and our main character... I think I need to give you a more visually stimulating picture. Anyway, our main character Ted, played by Mark T. Nicholson, has arrived to the city of Las Vegas, USA to get his runaway son Mikey back home. At first Ted sounds like a stand-up guy, a family man, a patriot, and worried about his wayward son.
Did you put out that McCain sign? Yes, I do think one sign will make a difference. My God, Lucy, the least we can do for a fellow Vietnam vet, standing up and trying to save his country from socialist takeover, is put out a damn sign.
Well, he seems to fancy conspiracy theories, but we all have our quirky hobbies, right? I mean, I call it Best Picture Oscar winners, who does that? Let's see how he politely turns down a prostitute.
The very idea. You know, I fought your kind, you Vietnamese. I spent 4 years of my youth sloshing through your jungles trying to help you people. If this is what you've made of yourselves, I can see I've wasted my time.
And it gets worse once he meets his son.
She doesn't know what to tell the ladies in her Bible study class. They ask, how is Michael doing? And what is she supposed to say? That you took off in the middle of the night and left us a note? That you're a dirty faggot and you ran off with some fella?
Ted is indeed a traditional man in more ways than one, and the play mainly focuses on his more repugnant personality aspects. Mark does a rather good job with it, though he doesn't quite reach the raw realistic peaks, but to be fair, this kind of role is a tough one to pull off, even for professionals. And Benjamin Robitil, aka Decker's Shadow, who plays the sensitive Iraq War veteran Mikey, isn't bad either.
You didn't see them, Dad. The bullet-riddled children. The charred skeletons of women just trying to do some shopping. Killed by a drone piloted by someone a million miles away. You didn't see the fear in a prisoner's eyes when I was told to sick the dogs on him.
Though this performance also showcases the recurring problem of wildly varying audio quality, but in amateur products that's kind of given and you can get used to it. But yeah, Mike and his boyfriend Daniel got married in San Francisco, but Ted is having none of it and orders his son to return home while belittling his post-traumatic stress disorder. He doesn't take it well.
Sir, I'm very sorry to inform you that your son has passed on. Your son cut his own wrist.
Ooh, I told you this was going to be some heavy stuff. And here's one of my first voice acting roles as Mikey's widow, Daniel.
What did you say to him? What did you say to make my husband kill himself? You probably told him to do it, didn't you, you sick fuck? You called him names, am I right? Maybe called him faggot. Told him he was going to hell. You knew how scared of you he was, and you fucking told him to kill himself, didn't you? You motherfucker!
Sure, my methods in conveying rage-filled grief weren't that refined yet, but this role helped me to explore that side of human emotions. Daniel is also seen in the last scene where I think I made him too snarky given on the situation, but overall I'm glad I was given the opportunity to do this part, certainly among the top 20 best performances I've ever done. It's in the 13th place, in case you wanted to know. I just like to make charts about stuff like this, okay? The play continues with Ted's further character analyzing after he reconsiders the offer from the prostitute Carrie, played by Patricia Miranda. Just so he could release some stress, you know, it's been a rough day! While there may be people like this somewhere, Ted's character feels to be unrealistically cold and cruel, like how callously he talks about his son's death as if it was a mere c'est la vie situation. I'd say give Vows a listen. It's only 36 minutes long, and despite having inequality in its technical aspects, it's a decently performed, thought-provoking, albeit slightly polarized character study on a broken man who has skewed versions of noble values. Well, not to make things too depressing, let's move on to the before-mentioned comedy companion piece, High Class Academy. James Daniel Wall stars as Miles, a down-to-earth mechanic from the state of Florida, though his accent sounds more Chicago to me, but overall his performance feels natural. His co-workers Joe and Sale, played by Martin Somcherk from Boston Treasure and Taylor Y-Boy Wyatt respectively, are planning to have Sale's 21st birthday in a local bar and want Miles to join the fun. Don't get too attached to these two because they both disappear from the narrative before the half point is reached. This is odd, considering that Miles' next narration part is dedicated to their backstories. And unfortunately, this is not the only time the play has focus problems. Eventually at the bar we meet the actual important character and Joe's cousin Tina, played by the writer herself, who is a loud-mouthed and non-filtered greasy mechanic who doesn't seem to have much luck in her love life. Oh, and she casually gives Miles a coupon to the Tatler High Class Academy when 20 minutes of this 55-minute play has passed. To its credit though, whenever the writing manages to get to the point, Miles and Tina do have rather nice chemistry.
I want to let you know that,
Yes, Miles?
you know... I just want to let you know you're a good friend, Tina. Well, don't ever let anyone put you down. You'll get the person that you deserve someday.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Too bad they don't dedicate much to it, but anyway. The academy classes are taught by another writer-played character, Miss Wentford, and with the academy's introduction, the play reveals its identity crisis as compared to the rest of the cast, its staff sounds too cartoony.
Oh, dear. No wonder why you're here. I mean, seriously, being around all day filled with oil and dirt and grease. Just thinking about it makes me shiver with disgust.
This, by the way, happens during the introduction of two more people who don't affect anything in the plot. I'll let you listen the rest on your own, but in the end, High Class Academy, while not knowing the definition of ecological writing, has some decent laughs and has a wholesome message, even though I don't entirely agree with some of its nuances. Next up is a western written by Vows star Mark Nicholson, who under the alias Big Black Hat Man talk about fittingly western stuff, and he has since then moved on to a career in politics. Well, without further ado, Confession of Danny Audway. It is some time after the end of the United States Civil War, somewhere around the prairies, where the hot-headed Sheriff Bull Callan, played by Clancy infamous Jack Shriver, is on a chase for the title or bank-robbing murderous youth. However, so is the hard-boiled but honorable US Marshal James Richard Miller, played by the writer himself, and then they stop the plot in order to debate on the proper arresting protocol. Because apparently there wasn't any other way for this play to reach its half-an-hour length. That doesn't matter as Danny Audway, played by yours truly, manages to get sanctuary from an isolated church that is taken care of by its priest Paul Betts, played by James Daniel Walsh, rounding up all the voice characters in this play. And there's not much more to say about the story structure. All four are in a stalemate situation during which Father Paul interviews Danny about his increasingly crime-ridden life in the hopes that he would eventually surrender. Oh, and the two lawmen have embarked on a dick measuring contest.
Now listen to me, you backwater excuse for a lawman. If you come at me again, you are the one who won't leave this place.
I have 4 more men that says that ain't a good idea.
I am here to tell you that won't matter a lick for you, since I'll put a bullet in your head first and see which one of your brave posse's willing to make a stand, because I will fall as many as I can before they get the better of me.
However, as pointless as these parts are to the main story, I understand that they add some humor to the otherwise heavy play, and it provides the writer the kind of badass western archetype he was born to play. And analyzing the titular juvenile delinquent is fairly engaging as well.
If you would have accepted the help of others, you may have gotten an education and would not have had to steal from that store.
You weren't there, Father Paul. You didn't have to bow down to those people for a meal just because you had the bad luck of being born to peaceful parents. I did what I had to do to survive on my terms. It ain't any more my fault than it was my ma's. She was the one who left me. Don't blame me, Father.
As good as my turn as Daniel was, I think it affected few roles that followed it by adding extra layer of rawness. On paper that sounds great, but I personally feel that I introduced Danny's off-the-rails character aspects way too early, and this style heavily contrasts with James's much colder performance. But yeah, the Confession of Danny Audway is alright too. The acting is stylistically all over the place, but at least the dialogue flows. For the last play in this video we have Mason Dixon starting in 2013, a comedy about the clash of city and country cultures that is so far the only podcast series hosted on the site. Well, Bloodshot was technically at one point, but that's a subject of some other video. It is written by Jonathan O'Fairlane, aka That Long-Haired Creepy Guy, who, besides being a published author of such erotica sagas as Section 13, has also posted animation critique in his retrospective series. To start things off, we have a sitcom-style earworm theme song, courtesy of the court composer Les Lawner.
Listen up, y'all, to this tale I'm gonna tell. It's fun, kind of tell. That's why I like it so well. It's about a coming together between the north and the south and the hilarious happenings and natural came about. So gather close together, we'll have a grand old time as we listen to the folks across the Mason-Dixon line. Yeah!
That sometimes happens. Well, anyway!
The city folk are represented by former New York residents Kate Dixon and her son Anton, played by Patricia Miranda and the writer respectively, who are moving to Alabama to start new life with her new husband Keith Mason. He also happens to be the father of her baby in development. Then we meet the other half of this brand new family unit with Mr. Mason, played by Mark Nicholson, and his son Bobby, played by James Daniel Walsh. Jeez, this site uses the same actors more often than the entire Finnish film industry. The first episode isn't that eventful and mainly consists of Anton and Bobby getting to know each other. At least the dialogue is smoothly streaming.
Beautiful. That's the best you could come up with?
I didn't see you trying anything better, genius.
Perhaps because I think that in an establishment like this, she's heard more than her fair share of bad pickup lines and doesn't need any others thrown at her from someone not yet old enough to shave.
Really? These obviously middle-aged sounding men are supposed to pass for 13-year-olds? I have occasionally auditioned for teenage roles myself, but even I'm aware that I couldn't pass for anyone under 16, and I have a higher voice register than either of these two. So the next time you fellow Manic Expressionists needs someone to do teenage roles, just go ask from Casting Call Club or something.
Also there's a plot hole as in this scene it seems like the boys managed to find common ground.
She was probably lonely. Mom hasn't had much luck with relationships ever since Dad died. Just forget I said that, okay?
My mom ran off with some guy a few years back. Dad filed for divorce just before my 8th birthday rolled around.
But then at the end of the episode they trash talk each other like that conversation meant nothing. Or maybe I just misunderstood it, I don't know. Next episode our leads are planning to have a fast wedding ceremony as Kate wants to get things done before her pregnancy gets to the final stages. This episode also introduces Bobby's friends Wayne and Duke, played by Martin Treasure and Taylor Wyatt, who play exactly the same characters they did in High Class Academy.
The day's still young. I want to go out and mess around for a while.
Have fun.
You're welcome to join us if you want, Anton.
Thank you, Duke, but I think I'd rather go up to my room and dig through all the boxes full of memories of New York that are still lying around. Between that and the copious amount of swearing I plan on doing, my day is booked solid.
Would it kill you to be friendly to people, you flat-toned condescending prick? In Anton's case, I'm not sure is his unlikability a bug or feature, but I do know that the further the series progressed, the more I got sick of his attitude, that he has for no good reason. However, most of the time the series managed to keep its comedy in a cozy homemade vibe, and the chemistry between Kate and Kit is very good, whenever in humorous or serious moments.
Anton seems pretty self-sufficient. Part of me kind of wishes Bobby could have been that way.
Anton is complicated. Don't ask me why, he just wound up that way. I guess that makes me a horrible mother, huh?
I never said that.
The third episode focuses mainly on Keith and Kate's wedding arrangements, and this was almost the last episode ever made. Creepy had the crappiest of lucks as his computer crashed and he lost all the material for the show. But luckily Patricia Miranda found a script from her old email account just this year. So the fourth episode was finally released 6 years later. As Mark is currently too busy in defending truth, justice and American way, the role of Keith was recast to Tim Diana, real name Tim Dunn.
I'm sorry, sweetheart. It's like I told you before, though. I've lived here all my life, and these sort of things blow over. People get bored and look for something else to talk about. Just wait. Pretty soon, this whole mess will be nothing but a forgotten memory.
Sure, it doesn't have the same gruffness, but overall it's an alright replacement. It's too early to tell how well the chemistry parts work, but we'll find it out. Maybe. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure has this show resumed production for good, but overall Mason Dixon, sure it can be a slow pace and the main boys are miscast, but its humor can be charming. I guess you can determine from 1.5 episodes if this is your thing. And that was the first batch of Manic Expression's podcast plays. I'm aware that this may not be the most watched video I've done, but I wanted to reminiscence, and if nothing else this works as good friendship stress tests. I'll return to these plays later, but in the next video I'll return back to the video game stuff. Until then, thanks for your time.